Yeah. Pull up Bill. Bill's the mutant, though. If we do that, they draw 6 cards. It's early days in Final Fantasy, but do we already have a best deck? This 22-person tournament was won by a Naya Beanstalk deck. We're going to take it to the arena ladder and put it to the test. Let's go.
Oh, beautiful Final Fantasize for near-mint slabs of chains, for purple hippos' majesty above the city's plains. The gathering, bless Garfield's PhD, and crown thy good with cardboard hood from spring to scrying free.
This season of Independence, ManaDad reminds you that the true spirit of Magic accepts every player, even if they like Universes Beyond, even if they play Alchemy. Let's enjoy the gathering together, where it has been and where it is going. Subscribe to channels like this one that celebrate the best of Magic and toss clickbait into the ocean like milky British tea. ManaDad's videos feature authentic win rate stats and are funded by members and viewers like you, and also his kids' college fund, if we're being honest. God bless ManaDad, and God bless Magic the Gathering.
Welcome to the Attic. ManaDad here. It's the channel where we explore what's fun in Magic, mostly on Arena. On Arena this week, it's the second day of Final Fantasy as I record this, and we already have a tournament that is using cards, some of the new cards, and this deck is created by somebody who goes by the name Rap Solo. I would love to improvise an amazing rap solo for you, but instead I will just rhapsodize about this deck. Let's take a look at what we got here. Some familiar faces get lost up the beanstalk. Fear of missing out. So already I'm going, okay, fear of missing out. We got to put stuff in the graveyard. Looks like we got some pretty big sweet things to reanimate from the graveyard. Bahamut. And this Summon Knights of the Round, if you've ever been on the other side of this card, it's absolutely insane. Comes down, makes 3 2/2 Knight tokens, and it does that turn after turn until eventually you get a big Anthem effect. And it's a 3/3 indestructible itself. So that's pretty crazy. Bahamut, also, you might have seen this one, 9 mana, 9/9 flying. Destroys permanents the first 2 turns. The third turn it's going to draw cards, and then the fourth turn deals damage equal to the total mana value of other permanents you control to each opponent, as if they're even going to be alive that long. All right, so those are those, but we don't have a Reanimator that I see. You know, you would look for Abuela's Awakening or something, but we do have Yuna, Hope of Spira, which is during your turn, Yuna and enchantment creatures you control have trample, lifelink, and ward 2. And at the beginning of your end step, return up to 1 target enchantment card from your graveyard to the battlefield with a finality counter on it. Well, obviously, if we're returning these, it doesn't matter. We can also return big old beaters like Overlord of the Mistmoors, Overlord of the Boiler Bilges, to a lesser extent, Overlord of the Hauntwoods. And a mere rare summon here, Summon Titan, 5 mana, mill 5. Return all land cards from your graveyard to the battlefield tapped. Okay. You really care if it's tapped. And then until end of turn, another target creature you control gains trample and +X/+X, where X is the number of lands you control. So we got all that. Got the Sunfall. Got the Ride's End. That whole package that works with Beanstalk. A couple of temporary lockdowns because it is standard in the year of our Lord 2025. And then another new card from Final Fantasy, making this brand new archetype into something here. Terra Magical Adept. It's a 3 mana 4/2. Gonna mill 5 cards when it comes in, and you get to put an enchantment milled that way into your hand. So great way to find your beanstalks if you didn't find them already. Now Fear of Missing Out makes more sense, right? Because we bring it back. And then there is an ability, which is not out of the question here. 4 mana and a red and a green. Tap, exile it, return to the battlefield transformed under its owner's control. And then we make a token that's a copy of a non-legendary enchantment we control. It gains haste. So remember, all of these guys are non-legendary. The Overlords. This is non-legendary. Summon Knights of the Round. That one's Bahamut, also non-legendary. I thought Bahamut would be legendary. All right. And that does that 3 times, and then the 4th turn, we're going to make a ton of mana, and Terra's going to come back, which means we can loop it again if the game is still going on that long. In the mana base, we get to play Starting Town. This is just a crazy enabler for 3+ color decks. Enters untapped first, second, and third turn of the game, and is a mana confluence when you want it to be, and when you don't need it to be, it doesn't deal damage to you, and that's just awesome. Mana base, a lot of the tap lands that surveil. Interestingly, nothing that turns on, none of those lands that care about the land types, but I'm not going to question it. It won it's not a giant tournament, but it won something. So we're going to take it to the ladder. We're going to put it to the test. Oh, I guess we should. I'm not going to play best of 3, but I'll show you the sideboard, and there will be, of course, a link to the deck description. This person is running, Rapsolo is running Ultima, which is another board wipe that's 5 mana, so it also works nicely with Up the Beanstalk. Authority of the Consoles for some extra stuff. Fire Magic, this is one that I discovered works nicely with Up the Beanstalk in my Cactuar deck. You can go watch that video to hear more about that, and some Ghost Vacuum for the Graveyard deck. So, interesting deck list, interesting strategy. Let's take it to the ladder, see how it performs in best of 1. So we could call this Naya Beanstalk, Naya Overlords, Naya Reanimator, Enchantment Reanimator. Kind of interesting. There's not the 4 ofs in the animation package. It's really, I guess, kind of a Beanstalk deck in a lot of ways. Oh, we got Beanstalk, and we can cast it on turn 2. I guess we'll keep another land. Make sure we keep hitting those land drops. And we got Aloe Alchemist over here. Well, Up the Beanstalks for days. I'm going to put that in the graveyard, actually. Should I put down a Fear of Missing Out? I guess we don't have red mana, so I guess the only question would be to whether to hold up Get Lost. Oh, Alchemist getting audacified. Ooh, okay. Triple Audacity. Gotta give him a nice for that. Well, we can't play Temporary Lockdown, which is kind of unfortunate. I think we're going to have to Ride's End that guy. I really wanted to Temporary Lockdown all those Audacities, because they're going to get to draw some serious cards. Okay, no pump spells. Got a protection spell? Glissa. Glissa is not great for us. Got the Yuna coming. We'll just ice Glissa right now. We'll put this Overlord of the Mistmores in the graveyard. We can Yuna next turn. blowing up that. How worried are we by this flyer? I mean, probably not, right? Because we can just bring back our dude, draw a bunch of cards, bring back Overlord of the Mistmores. How about some flyers? Hallow Alchemist. Back for more. We'll block the pump spell. Cecil. This is a 2/3 death touch for 1. And when it deals damage, they're going to lose that much life, and then eventually it'll flip into a 4/4 lifelink. Okay, well, our plan was working really well. Their plan, I would say, not so much. Naya Beans! Has Final Fantasy created a new Tier 1 deck? I'd love to know. I do feel like this mana base has a lot of tap lands. Looking pretty slow as far as the hand goes. Black Vlad out of the gate. The Valley Might Caller. Frog Warrior. And, I mean, Get Lost is nice, but we need to hit land drops, right? Or we... I think we need to hit land drops. We're not playing anything until turn 3, and that what we're playing is either Fear of Missing Out or an Up the Beanstalk. I like Quest Color. Hits us for a bunch. Just Overlord of the Boiler Bilges. The Lord of the Boiler Biggles. Alright. We're gonna need white. We're also gonna need another green eventually. I have a feeling we're gonna want double white, either to play Overlord of the Mistmores or to have Temporal Lockdown when that comes around. But maybe I was supposed to ship this hand, knowing that the average deck is quite aggro. Okay, they're not playing anything to the board. That's a good sign. Usually these decks are just all creatures. I guess we'll Fear of Missing Out. We won't play the Fabled Passage just on the off chance we hit something like that. And Get Lost now seems okay. We'll probably still do one of these guys. They crack a Fabled Passage. And what do they play? They have a 4-drop? Sheltered by Ghosts. Okay. Paw Patch Recruit. And they smack us for 6. Alright, well we've got a little trick we can do here. What we draw. Oh, another Get Lost. Okay. We'll correct this now just for fun. Make sure we got double green here. Pass the turn. Hop to it. Oof, okay. We might be forced to get lost the Valley Might Collar, because that is getting beefy. What I was going to do is get lost the Shelter by Ghosts. Another Paw Patch Recruit, yeah. Alright. I think we've got to survive, we've got to get rid of the 7/7. And then we got to find a board wipe. Because otherwise, we don't get a board wife up. Wait, board wife up the top. Oh, actually, we're just dead. They got 2+1/+1 counters. Never mind. Who saw that coming? Anybody? Okay, weren't expecting another deck tech in the middle of the video, were you? Well, I went 1 and 4 with that original list. So, what I've done is I'm just updating for best of 3. I could put in a couple of Elspeth Smites, maxed out the temporary lockdowns, trimmed out a missing fear of missing out, trimmed down some get losts, trimmed down an Overlord of the Boiler Bilges. For the mana base, I put in just 3 Verges, just took out 1 of each of the Surveil lands and put in 1 of each of the Verge lands. So just give us a few more untapped lands. We'll see if that helps the deck just be that little bit faster and that little bit more reactive to all the little creature decks that are running around in best of 1 currently. All right, let's give it a shot. Playing Naya Reanimator. New best of 1 version. Okay, opponent goes first. If we can get an untapped green land, we could theoretically have Overlord on 3. No interaction. I'm gonna straight up mulligan that. It's like having a mulligan when we have the 8 mana enchantment in their hand anyway. Well, here we got an Elspeth Smite. We'll keep that. We'll ditch the Titan. Or is 4 lands overkill? We can ditch one of these lands. They're all tap lands too, except for Starting Town. See what's going on with Dusky 402. You try to call up 402. Doesn't work. Okay. Well, now I think we can play Starting Town. This gives us access to Elspeth Smite on the conscript. I don't usually see this unless somebody's running kind of a off-meta skeleton deck. Oh. Hello, homunculus. You've been smote. Wow, and they play nothing. Okay. I'm drawing more untapped lands. That's good. I think we'll just get red into the equation. Well, actually, no, we could play Fear of Missing Out. Chocobo. What kind of deck plays a skeleton and a chocobo? Ooh, okay. Or we could do the classic 2/3. Up the Beanstalk, Overlord of the Haunt Woods. Overlord of the Haunt Woods. And we get to Bahamut in the hand, which we can ditch with Fear of Missing Out at some point. Opponent. Reading Overlord of the Haunt Woods. Yes, it's a good card, opponent. Almost as good as Saz's Chocobo. Okay. Now let's find one of those board wipes, please. Board wipe doesn't... Yeah, interesting. We could Fear of Missing Out. hope that we find a removal. I think that's probably the best shot here. Ditch Bahamut. Not find up to Beanstalk number 2. I don't think we need it. Next turn we can hardcast the Overlord or the Summon Titan. And we'll have enough mana to do everything. I'm kind of inclined to play the Summon Titan. It's a Bristly Bill deck, okay? Bill. Maybe we go for Terra and try to find... Okay. Yeah. Now I definitely want to find a board wipe. Overlord of the Mistmoors. What's the chances their last card is also a Go for the Throat? If we play this, they still probably get us. We could play 2 chump blockers and draw a card. Guess that's our best chance. It is an untapped land, but we have nothing to play with it, so we'll play the Surveil. Okay, well, if we survive one more turn, we'll be in good shape. Big if. Okay. We got 3 cards in hand. The Nova. And chump block. All right. Oh, starting town comes tap. All right. Well, it's all about what Yuna finds here. Unfall, could have used that in a minute. 1 second ago. So if we Bahamut, yeah. Blow up Bill. Bill's the mutant, though. If we do that, they draw 6 cards. I guess we'll blow up Saz. There we go. We got a board. Don't get the lifelink, unfortunately. Jeez. Okay. We chump with the Overlord of the Hauntwoods here. That's one big bill. Yeah, we'll chump with Overlord of the Hauntwoods. We could go down to 1 because we can gain 9 life next turn before we Sunfall. I mean, we could also make them draw 17 cards. At a certain point, they're drawing the whole library. They go to 8. We go back to 13. Sunfall. And Terra. Guess I'll get a temporary lockdown. Seems like it's good against their deck. And what do you think, opponent? You ready to scoop it yet? We've got 8 on board. Do they need removal or a blocker? another blocker. We do not find removal ourselves. Only one land left in the deck. Alright, force them to block. They almost certainly block Terra. I can save Terra with Elspeth Smite. Woo! Okay, got him. Okay, Snap kept this. Once my Verge. Get us to green eventually, right? Yeah. Unfall. May need it. Looks like it might be a mirror match of some sort. Esper Origins. So this is a 2-mana sorcerer. You surveil 2, gain 2. So this could work in this deck, actually, because then you can cast it from your graveyard as a 4/4. Reveals the top card of your library, then it ramps you for 2 green, then it gets an overrun effect. Pretty good value. Okay, they've got up the beanstalk. Well, we also got up the beanstalk, so what's gonna do about that? Ooh. We could temporary lockdown their whole board here. They can't benefit from the beans. Is that petty? They remove the lockdown, we also draw. Okay, so we can hard cast this. Melira, the Living Cure. I think I'll just hard cast this. They're ramping. Got to get out of jail free card here. We'll do an attack here. We'll just Sunfall. Do a 2 for 3. Comes to that. Ooh, well, actually. Esper Origins coming back. That value. Taking us to Value Town here. They drew Overlord of the Mistmoors. Cast. I like all the cards I have in my hand. I have to discard then draw if I do this. Guess I'll lose the Ride's End. Kind of hate to do it, but... Oh, fear of missing out. We've only got instants in the graveyard, huh? No blocks, go to 16. That's going to Anthem eventually. Alright, with the Beanstalk, let's see what we draw. Our own Overlord of the Mistmores. Okay. Well... do we want to... let them Anthem? Does it give Trample too? Yeah, it gives Trample. Guess I kind of have to Sunfall. The 4 for 4, but not really, because we'll draw a card. It's like a 3 for 4. Even though this is like a 3 for 1. Seem to be okay, so now they're going to have an 8/8 and a 6. Oh no, it's other creatures. I'm gonna hard cast this. Would you like to attack me with your 8/8? Alright, Battle of the Titans here. Yeah, there's like I got the advantage with the Beanstalk. I think I was going to win it eventually, and opponent figured that out. Okay, well, how do we do? Not great, not great. 33% win rate, although it was 40% on the play and only 25% on the draw. And yeah, I thought my version 2 was better. It did have a 40% win rate compared to the original version that had the 25% win rate. I do feel like if I kept playing, I probably could have pushed that up a bit. Maybe still need to do some work on the mana base. I was definitely looking for a bit more interaction in some of those games. But I like Elspeth Smite, but maybe you put in the Fire Magic. Most of what it hits, the Fire Magic can also hit. Oh, but that's to each creature, so that's a board wipe. I was thinking this is the one like that does the you know, two damage for 1 and 3 damage for 3. What is it? And 6 damage for 6 or something. Anyways, yeah. Well, cool deck. Hope you enjoyed it. Thanks for joining me here in the attic. I've been ManaDad, reminding you Magic is a game so fun, even dads can enjoy it. Adios.